Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to web design and programming class on your course. Today's class will be talking about how to create a new document using your Dreamweaver. Previously in our last class we talked about how to create site management, site definition and all of that. So you can see that all the site we created shown here previously in our last class. So today we're going to be talking about how to create first page of your website using what Dreamweaver. Now I've talked about two types of websites previously, that we have a basic site and dynamic site. We said that a basic site is a site that makes use of one programming language, one basic language rather, called what HTML. You can see the HTML here. HTML simply means hypertext markup language. You can write that down, hypertext markup language. Now to create a new document in Dreamweaver can be done in three ways. First, you can go to your file menu, click on file, go to new, click on new, and then you can see blank page. You can see HTML, which is for a static site as we're starting with. If we're creating the dynamic pages, which we have all the programming languages there, a lot of PHP and all of this. But today we're going to be talking about static website using what HTML. So when you click on HTML, select none in the layout, and then you click what create. This is one of the ways you can do that. Or let's click on cancel and do the other way. Another way is by using this startup menu and then just click on what HTML, and it creates the new page for you. Third way of creating a new page is by simply using the shortcut key, which is Ctrl N. So if you press Ctrl N on your keyboard, it's going to bring you back to our new document dialog box, which you can now click on HTML, none on layout, and then you click on what create. Alright, now when you click on create, this is how your first document is in Dreamweaver. This is how to create your first web page. Now creating your first web page, you can now see that what is a blank page. And then so the first thing you need to do is to save your work. Having created your new document, the next thing you need to do what is to save. How do we save in Dreamweaver? You save in two ways, either by using your file menu and go to what save, or you can use a shortcut by pressing Ctrl X on your keyboard, and it brings you back to where you can save. And because your site folder is already opened, so everything will be saved inside your site, like we defined in the last class. Now the first page of your website is called the home page, but when you are saving it, the first page of your website is saved as index. So you type what index. Now you don't need to put the extension, because by default when you select HTML, it automatically going to add what HTML. So you can look at the save as type. You can see the other document HTML, HTML, SHTML, SHTML, HTA. These are all the file extension. So you click what and you simply click on what on save. So we've just done how to create our first website, first web page, and then how to do what, how to save our first web page. So if you're taking your notes down, I'm going to be using a notepad to just give you a little note. So here we're going to be saying what today's topic is, what creating excuse me, creating new document in Dreamweaver, Dreamweaver, and then saving your document. So these are the 2 points we just talked about right now. Alright, so that's just the summary of what we just done now. Now I'm going to be introducing to you how Dreamweaver is. You can see this Dreamweaver all around you that's open. If yours is open on your system, you can see that what Dreamweaver has 4 major panels. The 4th panel is called what the menu panel, which can be found on top here, where you can see file, edit, view, insert, modify, test, command, site, windows, and all of that. These are menus. What do? They are lists of instructions for you to perform a specific task. For example, when we're trying to create a new document, just now we went to file, see the instruction to create a new document is found inside file, so that to open a new document, to save or save as. In your edit you can do redo, undo, like on, you can do paste, paste special, and all of that. So your list, your menu bar gives you a list of all given instructions for you to perform a specific what task. Secondly, the second panel here is called the insert panel. You can see where my mouse is right now. It's called what? The insert panel. This insert panel contains specific tools that you use, and it's categorized into your common, your layout, your form, data, sprite, text, and favorite. Now these are all, if you click, like for example, this common, you see the list of tools below it. These are tools that you can use. For example, you have hyperlink to create link from one page to another. You have your email link to help you to create email directly from your website. You have your anchor that help you to create link to a specific area on your website. So all these insert panel have what basic tools that we use in Dreamweaver. Now below here is what we call the property inspector. Now the property inspector, what does it do? Property inspector gives you information about a specific what tool, document, or object that you've selected on your watch, on your system. For example, now if I'm working on anything, I have all the information that I need about that thing. If I have to type here, if I have to create a table here, whatever I have to do, this property inspector will give me information about that object or the tools that have been selected. Now the last but not the least is what we call our other group panel, which can be found by your right hand side of your watch, of your screen. Now these menus are called our list of menus, our list of our panels, that they are a group of panels that do very different things. For example, we have the CSS, the application, the tag inspector, the files, which are contain all our files. Now this panel has a lot of things to do based on what, on job or action that you have taken in your what, in your design area. So for example, we see the file which display all our files that we have for us on this on this screen. So you can also go to our CSS, which shows you what styles that you have created on your website. Now to open a panel here, you click on the panel. To close it, you click on the what, on the panel name. Also, for example, if I click on application, you can see all the application that I have. If I want to close this panel, I'll simply click on the name also. So this is what all the panels are doing. So as we go on in the class, we'll be using one of the panels one after the other, and then I'll be explaining them to you. Alright, so that is what we talked about in Dreamweaver. So we talked about what Dreamweaver has what 4 major panel: the menu panel, the insert panel, the property inspector, and then the other group was panel. So to take down in your note also, note that what Dreamweaver has 4 major panels. These, so we have number 1, we have the word, the menu bar or panel. Number 2, we have the word insert panel. Then number 3, we have the property inspector, like I explained earlier on. Then finally we have what other group panel. So these are the 4 major panel that you found was in Dreamweaver. Alright, so let's go back to our Dreamweaver. So we've saved, so we've known the panels, we know how to create a new document, we know how to do what, we know how to create a new document and how to save it. Then we also know the different panels we have in Dreamweaver. Now the next thing we just talk about before we end this class briefly is to talk about the different views in Dreamweaver. Majorly, Dreamweaver has 3 different views. You can see them where my mouse are. We have the code view, we have the split view, and then we have the design view. Now this is the order of preference: the code, the split, and the design. In most of the professional exam, a question like this always asks, Dreamweaver has 3 different views, which are, you will see them right: design, split, code. Option B, split, code, design. Option C, code, split, design. Now what is the correct answer? The 3 of them are actually present, but what you see that what it has an order of preference, and which is what the code, the split, and the design. So for those of us who might want to write the professional exam after this class, so these are things you should note in the exams. So what is the function of the code view? The code view is where you can write codes. It's really meant for code. There are a lot of people who have learned the basic HTML language or other programming language. All they just simply need to do is to write the code. You can see that what you can see here are basically your code, your HTML tag, and all of that. So in the Dreamweaver, in the code view is where we write code to do a particular thing. For example, I want to create a header. I have a tag h1 for my header, and I say welcome to web design class on your course. Then I'll close. To close my tag is h1, not hi, right? Sorry. So I have to close that tag that I just opened. So now if you have to look at this in the code view, you basically write your word, write the code. So if I have to go to the design view, you see what I just wrote just now appears here in my design view. So that's what I've just written in the design view. So the code view is where you can basically write code. For example, I can add color to that thing I just wrote by simply saying font color. Then I select a particular color that I want. Let's say I want red, and I click, then I close, come back, and also do the same thing, and also close my font tag. So if I go to my design view, you see the changes that also be what apply. So this is what you do in your code view. So the code view is where you basically write code. As we're going on the class, I will be able to introduce some of you to writing code. But if you're not interested in the code, never bother. You can still make use of our design view. Alright, the design view is where you can what we call what you see is what you get. Call it what you see is what you get, which means whatever thing you type here is what you're going to see at the end of the day. So that's what you do in your design view. We also have the split view. Now this split view gives you a view of the code and the design. So these are the three major views in Dreamweaver. Then if you look closely next to the design view, you see something that's called a title. The title you're seeing there, I'm showing you a title because when you go to a browser and you click on the web and you type a website address, what you basically see there is you see on the address bar the name of the site. So you can probably give your web page is what title. For example, I can say what my official what website. My official website. Now this is what is going to be, and then you press enter. This is what we're going to be displayed in your browser address bar when you view your website. This is what we talk about. For example, if I'll preview this site now by going to previewing in Chrome, click on the yes, and then you're going to see what that title bar is all about. I say welcome to web design, and this is your website now. Then look at the address bar over here. You can see my official website. That is what is called the title bar. So when you're creating the title bar, you know what you are creating. Alright, so we're going to stop here for this class about how to create a new page, and then how to save a new page, and how to an introduction to what web design class on your course. This is our first page. So practice what I've just done, and then we'll come back for the next class. This is still from mazskills.com. My name is Mr. Adedero Michael, and I'm your host for today. God bless you.